As cities age, neighborhoods can become old and lifeless, which may cause citizens to move away. When this happens, a collaboration between the local government and citizens is an effective way to revitalize the area. Let's take a look at two projects in the Netherlands to find out what successful urban revitalization looks like. Wallesblok, the €1 apartment project. Rotterdam, the second largest city in the Netherlands, is known for its modern architecture and busy port. By taking a 10-minute tram ride west from the city center, however, you can get to a more peaceful environment. Instead of crowded streets, you will see neighbors chatting in front of a modern residential structure and families spending time in its garden. The structure is a large apartment building called Wallesblok. Not that long ago, this area was very different, and nobody thought it could become a place where families would want to live. Yet, that is exactly what happened. For years, the neighborhood was known for its high crime rates. Many apartments in Wallesblok were abandoned and then taken over by people who lived in them illegally. At first, the local government thought that the best solution was simply to tear the building down and build a new one in its place. However, having a limited budget, the government was unable to do so and had to come up with a new plan. The plan was to sell the empty apartments for €1 each. The only condition was that people who bought these apartments needed to renovate them. Although the new residents would have to pay for these renovations, the government's plan soon attracted many applicants. Apparently, it was not just the idea of €1 apartments that people found attractive. They were also excited by the opportunity to use their creativity to improve the building. In the end, 42 new families moved into Wallesblok. The government's bold plan was a success. The residents transformed the old, worn-out building into 42 unique apartments with a community garden and rooftop terrace. The surrounding area soon began to improve as well. Today, Wallesblok is one of the most desirable places to live in Rotterdam. De Keuvel, a green technology playground. In the early 20th century, there was an area in the northern part of Amsterdam that was full of shipyards and factories. Over time, the shipyards closed down and the work once done at the factories was moved abroad. As a result, the area was left abandoned and polluted for years. Wanting to do something to improve the area, the city purchased an abandoned shipyard called De Keuvel. However, city officials did not know what to do with it, so they turned to the public for help by asking for plans that would achieve two primary goals. First, the plan had to include a method to clean up the land and turn it into a sustainable development. Second, it had to suggest a way to transform the site into a creative workspace. In the end, an architectural company submitted an innovative plan and was awarded a 10-year lease on the former shipyard. The plan was to turn the site into a sustainable office park. Since it was impossible to build foundations on the oily mud of the polluted land, the architects decided to use old abandoned boats instead. They were able to purchase these at low prices from the boats' owners. The architects created a small community that includes creative workspaces, studios, meeting rooms, cultural spaces, and even a cafe, all by upcycling the boats. Then, to connect the boats, wooden paths were built. In addition, special plants that purify polluted soil were planted across the site. Today, some people come to De Keuvel to test new sustainable technologies such as biofilters and water reuse systems. Many others come to experience this successful revitalization project in person. De Kovel is now known as one of the most active playgrounds for innovative green technology in all of Amsterdam. At the end of the lease, the project will also leave behind a more valuable piece of land for the next people who use it. These two examples of urban revitalization in the Netherlands required much more than a budget and a plan. Innovative thinking, creativity, community spirit, and cooperation were all vital to their success. These projects are great sources of inspiration for other cities that are looking to bring new life to abandoned areas.